believe that, the spirit of electoral reform demands that, there should have been consensus building. And when you don't do that, and when you bulldoze your agenda, you're basically, setting up the foundation for an election which is going to be challenged, and it is going to be called that not all parties are on the same page. So that spirit was not followed. Secondly, I had the opportunity of doing a program with the IT minister who is from MQM, Aminul Haq Saab, and this was probably Friday. And we were, he was saying that EVMs, we don't know what type of software they're going to use, and they didn't show us the codes, and we have many concerns. And then, mysteriously, just after 3-4 days, MQN and PMLQ and all their differences, they were maneuvered or managed through some, what we're hearing, mysterious phone calls. So, it's maybe by the end of this program we can resolve that. What were those phone calls? And, one of the members of this party was also saying that we have been brought here. And we have been brought here with we have been brought by the people who usually bring us back.
Rana, so, barring those assertions, barring those claims, whatever they may be, isn't it true that generally speaking, if you look at the principle of the thing, as far as Jawad Saab is saying, he's saying, I don't know, I mean, I don't want to go into who was brought or whatever, but as far as, these parties, the allied parties are concerned, of course, they raised certain reservations, and those reservations were then, addressed, which is what the government says, by the government and the Prime Minister, and they were able to ally whatever fares that these parties had, and therefore they went forward. This is what the government's narrative is, right?
Okay, so this can be challenged on several grounds, and there was lack of procedure, rules of business were violated. Then there is a certain point that electoral reforms need constitutional amendments, which require 2/3 majority. So our legal team is looking at it, and there is quite a big probability that these will be challenged in the courts. But even if they are not, put that aside as well. It is basically that you have cemented a conflict where the opposition is on one side, where the ECP is on one side, and the government is on a single point agenda. So moving forward in the coming days, rather than we would have worked together and strengthened democracy, we are going head on for a collision, and that is the sad part. That we have been successful in passing our narrative to the people of Pakistan, who have responded by giving us something great results in the by-elections, and then moving forward. PTI is not out of any trouble. We have the highest inflation, increasing poverty, several issues with the economy, uncontrollable to go to court. And let me correct Jawad Saab that you brought in a system which can be manipulated in a much more easier manner than the current electoral system. So you've done no betterment for the country. And it is the job of the Election Commission to conduct a free, fair, transparent election. And if they feel that with these EVMs, in such a short span of time, they are unable to constitutionally conduct a free, fair, and transparent election, ECP is going to be the biggest hurdle for implementation of EVMs. And I believe that the opposition should unitedly challenge them in courts, and we are planning on it.